Hello, and thank you for watching Our Yard Podcast. This is going to be the WrestleMania Night 1 review, and it was a night of ups and downs, but mainly a lot of downs. It was a very, not gonna lie, there was definitely some good matches, but a lot of that was kind
It
of
was pretty mid for the
underwhelming.
most part.
Yeah, but I am Swaggy T. Alongside me, as always, Hogmaster. Oh, and
Hogmaster
he's hitting.
vaping in the F
He's
one
hitting.
fifty.
That's right. That's what you got to do sometimes.
Got to flex on them.
Currently,
Hi
CM
haters.
Punk is very sad.
Hi haters.
He has nothing to say.
No. All right, so we'll start this off. Fucking. So me and Jordan were waiting for him to get off work or get home so we could watch it together, which we missed the caught the ending of the Jey Uso versus Gunther. So I had to let Trevor talk about that. I'm gonna rewatch it because we're like
Yeah,
doing this right after. Like this
yeah. This
is
is
directly
like it's
after.
just,
So
yeah, like just not even 30 seconds ago, I just watched the interviewer for WrestleMania. Forgive me for not knowing her name, but showing CM Punk directly after he just got to the back. So this is just fresh, right off the hills of night one. And yeah, I did get to watch the Jay and Gunther match, and it was a really good match. It was a good way to start the show off. I do. The only problem I have with it is like why open night one? Like why make the very first match of Mania be a world title match, especially one with a change. Like night two, sure, at least you're like a day into the event. That's what happened last year, if I'm not mistaken. The show opened up with Damien cashing in Money in the Bank after Drew beat Seth. But as far as this match goes, Gunther did his thing. He's just as good as always. Jay brought it. We did want him to kind of expound on his move set a little bit for that match, and he did, but he was like using a lot of Gunther's moves, which I don't have a problem with. I mean, that's how he won, was a sleeper hold at the end of the match. But in some ways, it resembled the Sammy match where it was like Gunther was dominating for large portions of it, but um, you know, Jay would get in a good bit of offense here and there. And overall, I really like how they ended the match with Gunther submitting. I think that's his first submission loss. And it was to Jay, who is now our World Heavyweight Championships. He's the champion. So congrats to him for sure. Um, Next match on the card, I will let Harley talk about because that was the first match he saw. And wow, was it? And the crowd goes mild, is all I could say
so
about it.
so I saw the ending. Yeah, I saw. I had a little bit on the Jay and Gunther's. You know, Gunther tapped out to the sleeper hold in about 4 seconds, which is I don't know. Like the only way I think it would have been like if they finished right there, if they would have let him pretty much quit breathing like he did to like how Gunther's done to everybody else. I think
Yeah.
that would have been the only way, to make the closing segment of that match a little bit better. But I mean, overall, like you said, overall, well, I can't say overall, just from the little bit that I saw, I just felt like it was just a tad bit anticlimactic, but you know, it's still like it ended pretty solid, I guess. But
Yeah, I give it an eight out of.
second
I gave
match,
it an eight
I
out of
got to
10
watch.
personally.
Yeah, I can't give you my review yet. I have to watch the whole thing, but so going to the next match, the New Day versus the War Raiders. Okay, one I'll say this: one bullshit that the SmackDown Tag Team titles didn't make it to Mania, but fucking Raw did, and they haven't done a gosh damn thing to
Yeah,
make them relevant or anything. I mean, it's been ass. The Raw Tag Team division has been awful since they split the belt. Like I don't know. To me, like the Awesome Truth, like they had some pretty good matches and fun stories. And then after them, Judgment Day got them and sat and just held them hostage for 6 months. So I don't know. I didn't really. I just don't care about that part. And then
I mean,
Like
well,
it was,
SmackDown's is
it was,
exciting.
for the, for the New Day to win the tag team titles for the 12th time, and they have the most, uh, they have the record for the most reigns. Like for them to get to the 12th victory, you think it'd have been a little bit more.
Hello?
You know, I don't know. I don't know. It's just a weak build up and everything, and then myself, the only part that stood out for me and Jordan was Ivo had a spinning heel kick, and then the New Day tried to double team him, and he hit him. It was like that. What'd you?
It was like a springboard cutter almost.
Like that. Two parts. Like Ivar's whole run, because he had a little run in the match. Well, he just went on a tear for about 3 minutes, and it was fucking awesome. But other than that, no, it was very underwhelming. Did not like it. I mean, I don't know. It could have been saved a little bit if Big E would have showed up for some reason, but they didn't even do that. They just had this match on there for no fucking reason. Like I said, SmackDown Tag Team Division deserved to have their ladder match, like a 5-pack ladder match, but whatever. It is what it is.
That it
Yeah, I
is.
don't know. To me, I mean, it's second worst match of the night. I mean, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 10. I guess I don't know. It wasn't nothing. It's definitely not rewatchable. That's for goddamn sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, I liked it a little more than you did, but I do agree. Like it didn't bring it like at all. I mean, this was like overall, we'll get into the rest of the matches for sure, but like overall, this was a very underwhelming pay-per-view. And with it being yeah, I'll give it like a 6 out of 10. Looking back on it, like after you got done watching it, you're like, okay, that's cool. New Day got it, but yeah, it was very anticlimactic. Like you was saying, there was little to no fanfare, even with them being heels. Even the announce team, they tried, but they couldn't really. Like it was just not an exciting. And I don't think the crowd was still high off of the Jey Uso winning, and that kind of fucked up the whole night as far as like getting people excited. There was still a couple good points, but this was not one of them. And to get much worse, we're going to go into Naomi and Jade, and this was a dud of a match. It like respectfully, like, and we both know like yeah, the Jaomi, like they're a lot more. They're capable of a lot more as far as what they could put on. But this match was just. If you didn't know there was a story, you would have thought this one was just thrown together. The way they wrestled it out, it was underwhelming. Nothing really memorable about it to me, personally. Mm. There was. I'm trying. Like I'm pausing because I'm trying to think of like actually like something good to think about the match, but like it wasn't sloppy. It was just boring as hell the whole way.
oh well, that they had the one move, the one spot
But
like
off the
that
top
face
rope.
buster on that, like
Oh,
that
the
face
face
buster
bust,
on the
yeah,
outside.
the face buster on the outside. But then
Yeah,
they
that's
had
pretty dope.
that avalanche sequence they did from the top rope, and then Jade won. And I had a feeling Jade was going to win, just because, like, for the story, I guess that's the right move. But otherwise, like, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't for me. Up to this point, it's the weakest match of the night, and we'll get farther than that.
It should have been. Now I will say I do like my input on the match. I'll say I love Naomi's new presentation.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go on a train demonstrate in backyard in France with a big atmosphere, what memories do you have of this night? And are you ready to come to Paris with your direction or you maybe from France? So,
I love
you know,
Naomi, dude.
what
Honestly,
is
no other
really
women's match on the Jay really just I don't know.
from Lyon, France,
I really don't know, man. Like
have that kind of energy every night when
I
you
haven't been that impressed with Jade Cargill since he came to the WWE.
see those,
Oh,
Like she just hasn't done it for me yet.
France, like I think
And
it's
like she definitely didn't help herself tonight because Naomi carried every fucking thing.
oh yeah, she
And
definitely did. But
takes two to
I had a watch
takes two to tango. It's hard to do everything yourself.
I did this a lot.
well,
But yeah, I mean, I like you. I give it 6 out of 10.
yeah,
But I mean, I wouldn't say it was not for me personally. I wouldn't say it was the worst match of the night. Like I said, not like up to that point. No, it was still, it was the New Day and War Raiders.
yeah. For me, I
Um,
like it's very close between the two. I still like
let's see.
give it a 6 out of 10 for the New Day. I don't think I actually said that out loud. I
Yeah.
kind of I don't know. The first part of the night kind of didn't really set that well with me.
No, no, it's kind of bland. And then let's say the next match
Fatu
was
and LA Knight for the
was,
U.S. title.
and up to this point, this revived the crowd a little bit because the crowd was kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean
But
it wasn't a good
but to
crowd,
be
but you do
fair,
have to try to keep the yeah. To be fair, the matches were not WrestleMania quality, so
mm-mm.
I get why the crowd was a little less than impressed. But you know, I mean, you gotta like they're not gonna be like someone like I think you were talking on when we were on the phone earlier. You were talking about you saw a tweet where it's like we need to have a WrestleMania overseas for once, like have that shit in like Paris or
Oh god, that'd be fucking
Hamburg or
dope.
yeah, or Lyon or really any of those international crowds. That French one really stuck out, and the one in Spain was really good. But no, this you gotta we gotta figure out like American crowds. I don't know why they're so reserved compared to these other crowds, and like there's definitely more of an energy when they're all screaming, but. Speaking of getting them screaming, Fatu and Knight, Fatu walking out, bare bones, just ready to rip somebody's head off, and LA Knight pulling up in a Maserati was a really nice touch to the start of the match. Um, the match itself was fantastic. It wasn't a spot fest necessarily, but it's just very, very good, clean, quality, exciting wrestling. These are the things that WrestleMania is made for, and Jacob Fatu has put himself on the map as a future world champion. LA Knight as well. I just worry because LA Knight. I mean, again, like we were talking about, you think LA Knight's going to be relevant up until he's like in his 60s.
No, I said 50s.
No, you said 70s.
No, I said
So, like
I said he.
when he's a world champ at 82, don't be surprised, folks.
Yeah, I think he's got like about 10 years.
No,
But
he'll be
but really, about the next 5 or 6 years, you have to capitalize on them.
absolutely like a couple world championships. I mean, he's earned it at this point. At least one, at
Yeah.
least a solid run with the title, maybe like 2 3 months. But good old good old Jey Uso with the Edgar mullet. He's just you a small yeet from everyone.
Small year.
A small
But
yeet.
yeah,
But
but
yeah, no the Knight and Fatu match like that shit.
yeah, it was really
Ah,
good. I mean, from a technical
that
standpoint,
moonsault to the BFT.
fuck, that shit was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I really hate to be the guy to mess with up.
Yeah.
That shit, nah, that shit was fucking awesome though. Like hit that down. I mean, came off the moonsault, hit it with the BFT. I was like, holy shit, he might retain. Well, we did pick Fatu to win, so we was
Yep.
right on that. But I mean that match, like I said, up until that, I mean, that was fucking match of the night. That shit had like it got the crowd going. It was fucking wonderful. I mean, the crowd was gonna pop whoever won, so like that's how you know you got something decent going on, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But
They
a
were.
lot of people wanted to see Fatu win anyway, just because he's like the dude fucking deserves it. Like
Oh
there's
yeah.
not a fucking doubt.
They had a chant. They had a chant at one point during the match where the crowd was saying, let's go Fatu, LA Knight," and just like repeating that over and over. And it was, I think it was right before that. I think it was right before the moonsault to the BFT actually. And
Mm,
yeah, for me, easy 9 out of 10.
yo, yeah,
But
I can get agree with that. Which I'm a big LA Knight fan, and I wouldn't say I'm just a huge Jacob Fatu fan. Like I love his work in the ring. Well, I love his character work and everything. But he's not like a personal favorite like LA Knight is. But I do enjoy watching him as a wrestler. So yeah, it was just a good man. It was a great match. And then yeah, I'm like yeah, I'd have to give it a 9 out of 10 for sure.
9 out of 10. It wasn't quite perfect, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah. and then we, and then
We had Ray Phoenix and El Grande Americano. Totally not Chad Gable right after that.
not Chad Gable.
Yeah. Absolutely not Chable. And it's not Shorty G. So if you think it is, you're wrong. And yeah, it was.
I mean, and rings. I mean, in rings, that match fucking cooked.
It
It was
did.
good.
It,
It was an entertaining match. I mean,
it's
giving
kind of.
them. I,
Sorry, go ahead.
I really. I was just gonna say, I really like the Chad or not Chad Gable, El Grande Americana and Ray Phoenix. They had some great chemistry in the ring. I was really looking forward to it being with Rey Mysterio, but Ray got hurt last night, so he wasn't able to do it. Wasn't able to participate, so he had to fill in. Somebody had to fill
Yeah.
in, which I thought they got the best. I mean,
I mean, it's
that
unfortunate
match,
we didn't get to see Mysterio, but I think Ray did more than enough. And it was cool to see Vikingo finally get involved. So
yeah,
expect to see him around and expect to be amazed because he has potential to be better than all of them.
yep, that damn.
He's young. He's younger than Dominic, I think.
Mm,
Actually, he might
yeah,
be
I
a
think
year older than him at most.
no, I think it's because Dom's our age, so I
Dom was
think
born 96. I
yeah,
thought he was born 98.
no, he's 96, so he'd
Yeah,
be
and
a year
Vikingo was
younger
born
than us.
97, so he's a
Yep,
year younger than us. And he is very, very good. I mean, even got to see a kick from him at the start of the match.
yep, but
But
yeah, overall the match, I mean, it. I mean, there's not really much storytelling, I guess, that went on in the match. 'Cause really not a whole lot going on besides the Grande Americano.
yeah,
Being Chad Gable going on and pretty much going on his event, like his whole journey to become, learn the dark arts of lucha libre and doing all that. So
and
he's
he's doing his damn thing too. Like that moonsault 450 it was.
oh dude, that shit was fucking awesome.
And if you don't know what you're doing, that looks like a real good way to get a concussion because
Yeah, no shit.
that doesn't look. That's my only complaint is like I guess just a semantics one, really. Just like I really wish you'd stop doing the headbutt.
Yeah.
That's kind of more of a character thing, though, instead of the
Yeah.
actual match. As far as the match went, in a perfect world of diving headbutt wouldn't actually hurt you, but we don't live in a perfect world, and you have to be realistic. And
Well, he did have a metal plate on his forehead, so
that doesn't okay.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, that's what made it.
All
That was
right.
supposed to
Well,
make it even more devastating.
yeah. Well, I mean, it could also make it more devastating for his damn self.
Yeah, no shit.
Like,
Yeah, end up
but
with CTE.
yeah, and as a whole, me personally, I give the match a 8 out of 10. It was
Yeah,
a very entertaining match. I just wish there was a little more storytelling with it. But I mean,
yeah. That's the only thing.
Ray Phoenix
That's the
filling in
only
on,
thing.
yeah, it's like
It
that.
just had a little lack of storytelling, but other than that, I mean, I give it 7 out of 10. You know, me personally.
7 out of 10. I respect that.
Yeah.
Um, right after that, we get into the best match of the night. That's by far
Mm.
just like so much chemistry going on here with Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte fucking Flair.
Fuck me in
And
the ass.
God, I'm man.
I'd rather fight off 4 black dudes trying to gang rape. No,
Yeah, no, this is
that's a that's an inside joke from my dad that bitches about LeBron James playing basketball.
yeah, you'll have that on these big jobs though.
But for real, that match fucking blew dick.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
just
don't
I'm just gonna
have
go ahead and preface. I'm gonna try to give it a compliment sandwich. It's about to be a meaty motherfucker. All right, so let's start off. The right person won. Let's start off with that. We did like that Tiffy won. Tiffy time is a very real thing in both of our households, and I was very glad that Tiffany retained. Now they had the chemistry of they had the same chemistry that Stephen Hawking has with his legs. Like there's just nothing going on there at all. Like he's just rolling around. Um, and that match rolled around on the ground like a fucking turd. And it's insane because Charlotte Flair is inarguably one of the best female wrestlers of all time, one of the best women's wrestlers of all time. Tiffany Stratton is on her way.
on
She's
her way.
probably she's probably going to reach those heights someday. That being said, you would not know that shit from this match. If someone were to like green screen everything going on around except for the ring, you would think that shit was on Velocity, dude. That is one of the most, it was just not, that wouldn't have even been a main event on Velocity, dude. I'm going to go ahead
No,
and,
this
Tiffany hard carried that match. Charlotte, I don't really know. Like, I don't even think anybody in particular is to blame. I think it's just kind of both on them. Like Tiffany is a very good wrestler, but she's also very young. Charlotte Flair is, like I said, one of the best women's wrestlers of all time, and you would have not known it watching that.
no. So like my okay,
I give it a 3 out of 10.
yeah, I'm the same way. But
But
I'd have to
the
say
other big,
this.
yeah,
Like,
go ahead.
does okay? So there's the question. So like, just talking about Tiffany, or talking about Charlotte. You know, being like the past tense, being a great woman, one of the greatest women's wrestlers. Like, do you think from this match, it does look like it, but we haven't seen her in another match? Do you think she has lost some steps?
Um,
Like, do you think her best days are behind her? Because honestly, it kind of feels like it. Because I saw her at the Rumble, and it really didn't look like she was.
yeah,
She,
and
I don't know.
that's been a few months ago, and I mean, like, as good as she was at one point, it's definitely like she's not who she used to be. And it's
No,
sad because like peak Charlotte Flair in this women's division right now,
would be money.
you couldn't beat that shit with a stick, dude. She's like, but her mic work is just it almost even her mic work seems like it's lost a step. Um,
Hmm. Like this whole feud has been lackluster. Like the
yeah, it's
biggest thing that come from it was when And it was Charlotte. Like she started bringing real shit out. So then Tiffany hit her with the fucking, you know, the real stuff about being divorced or whatever. After Charlotte said she feels like a failure in her personal life, but now here's the thing: is Charlotte's done that shit her whole career. Like she's done that multiple times before, try to degrade women like by bringing out personal shit, in TV, and it's like, okay, like, you know, then she wanted to get upset that Tiffany did it. It's like, bitch, you've done this your whole fucking career, like, and then you're gonna get mad when Tiffany and like, I don't know, man, Tiffany's, I like, I'm like you then. Tiffany carried the fucking match. Like that's the one thing I noticed watching the whole thing is like Tiffany was doing all she could,
Yeah.
and Charlotte was just like two steps behind everything. Like it just looked so like the gosh damn, it was uncoordinated. It was just fuck man, it was bad. It was just bleh. Like I don't know another way to fucking put it. It was not
Yeah,
good.
it's not a good experience all the way around. Easily weakest match of the night, and what's crazy is it had a potential to be the best. Like potentially,
Like
you take both of them at their peak, which Tiffany I don't think has reached her peak, and Charlotte's well past it.
yeah,
You, it's just one of those like
unfortunate
good
timing.
names for a match, worst timing possible.
Yeah, it's kind of like the remember in Saudi Arabia. I think it's a crown jewel in like 2018 or 19. Remember it was like DX versus Brothers of Destruction.
Oh boy,
You remember that? Fucking Kane and Undertaker versus uh, Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
yeah, I don't want to
It was
imagine that. That sounds
it was pretty rough, but
yeah.
it's
Again,
about
you
the
take
same.
you put that you make that match back in like 1998.
Oh, it would have been fucking like main event WrestleMania. Like
That's the best match you can possibly make at that point. Almost like
yeah, and it was like fucking Taker got a concussion, like damn near off the bat. Fucking uh Triple H broke his collarbone, I think. Fucking Sean broke. What did he do? Like fucked his sternum up or something. I don't know. There's a lot of fucked up shit that happened. It was like Kane was fucking fat. it was, it was just a
like
bad.
nothing else to say. He wasn't even injured. It's just his pride was gone. He's just like, man,
Yeah, it was pretty bad, but we don't count that because everybody thinks
that's
the
fucking
way.
sugar. That's fucking
Yeah, because
sugar
like
cane out there.
yeah, but the way we look at Shawn Michaels' career is that he retired at WrestleMania 24. I mean 26. Sorry.
Yeah,
Like
that was and
him
still
and
one of the best matches of his career.
oh yeah, and that was his last one. We don't count that DX shit. But anyways,
Mm,
but that's the type of shit like like great names in there, but awful,
awful timing.
awful delivery.
3 out of 10. That's being generous.
Yeah, that is being generous because I'm telling, it is the least rewatchable match of the night. Like to everybody who's listed is like
In recent WrestleMania history, I think the only one I can think of that's got less
like
replayability is probably that. Like,
Jimmy and Jay.
no, Jimmy and Jay wasn't even that bad, dude. Jimmy and Jay,
Oh
like you put Jimmy and you tell me you move that match tonight too. Move Jimmy and Jay in here in that particular Jimmy and Jay match, and it winds up like being overall a better night.
yeah, probably. And
Replayability,
then
no, it was like somebody fighting himself.
yeah, it was. But
But I'd give that match like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 because it wasn't bad. It was just like they're both hitting each other with the same finishing sequence, and
hmm but this I don't what the least replay out of recent memory. I mean, one that was pretty ass to me was WrestleMania 39. Brock Lesnar and Omos. That was pretty fucking ass.
yeah, we don't talk about
Uh,
that.
like that's probably about the closest. That's about the closest I can think that that was just bullshit.
Experience tells me in that situation, Brock Lesnar won the match, but
Yes, he did.
he was probably going to anyway. But There's certain factors in there that tell me I know he did.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely not listening to a black person at WrestleMania.
Yeah, we don't know why exactly, but it's just a thing. Oh well. But that being said, Punk, Reigns, and Seth, and honestly, to a large extent, Paul Heyman, low key fatal 4-way.
Mm-hmm. So this is what took match of the night.
Easy.
This is it topped. Like we said, the closest, the one that was right there that had match of the night up until this point was LA Knight versus Fatu. But this match right here had every fucking thing, dude. The storytelling was fucking perfect. But here's the thing, and I swear to God, like Seth Rollins, and I've talked about this before, but like for me personally, like Seth Rollins is on my Mount Rushmore of wrestlers I've watched in my lifetime, and that's just it is what it is. Like that dude is so fucking good. He is
Mm-hmm.
so fucking good, and like his storytelling in ring is fucking awesome. And it's like he said in interviews, they're like, "Who's the best person, to have in a match?" He's like, "I am." He's like, "I can get the best out of anybody," and he's fucking right. Like he's not being conceited or nothing. He is that motherfucker. Like he is that dude. Like he just I don't know what it is, man.
He's been
He's
that
like
dude.
he's like yeah, like he's like Dolph Ziggler. You can put him
Yeah.
anywhere, or Nick Nemeth. You can put him anywhere on the card, and he's gonna fucking show off. Like that's what he does. You know,
Yeah,
like
that's
that's I don't know. Like Seth Rollins, man, I love that dude so much, and like oh, it's perfect. Everything about it was perfect, dude. God damn. Like that was who we picked to win, anyways, because it not okay. Not me and Trevor picked them to win, but we didn't pick them to win how it ended up playing out.
no,
Like
not at
how it
all.
ended up, never could have guessed it. But like the whole sequence, man, like Rollins, Punk fighting each other going into the freaking ring or going into the audience, and Punk hitting Punk hitting that nasty suplex on a trash can was fucking gnarly.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then they get back,
Flying
and then Roman,
crossbody of Roman getting involved in the outside brawl was a nice touch as well.
yep,
Or according to Michael Cole, a spear,
yeah,
But
crossbody.
good old crossbody. Shout out Seth for like you don't realize how strong he is until he's like pretty much like cradling, like giving like a very delayed version and very clean full rotation Northern Lights from a guillotine choke from Roman. And Roman is not a small person in
No,
any way, shape, or
6'3",
form.
265.
Yeah, and he's just sitting there
Nothing
holding
but
him.
muscle.
And Seth is probably what, like 6 foot, 6'1".
He's like 6'1", 225.
Yeah.
And like he was in a guillotine and just picked Roman up
Just picked
from the
Roman up.
fucking ground
Yeah. That
and gave
like
him a fucking northern. That's just that northern light suplex is like what the fuck.
I don't give a damn. That was a beautiful moment of the match. Low key slept on spot. CM Punk, as
Fucking
much
stole
as
the show.
stole the show, and somehow feel free to disagree with me, was somehow the weakest wrestler as far as the actual like he's lost a step. He's in his mid 40s, but compared to Seth, I mean Seth and Roman were on fire tonight. There's no other way to put that.
But yeah, but I mean Punk was too. Like that's the thing is
They
like
all
if
were, but
I
like
mean
it's
if
it's
you
it's
had
like
to, I mean
picking
I
like
guess
what's Da Vinci's worst painting? That's like basically like
yeah
the kind of not to I wasn't trying to be negative in any way, shape, or form, but
yeah
Punk did
yeah,
steal
but
the
like
show because he's the best storytelling wrestler
he is
in the
dude. He
business.
like when CM Punk gets into when he gets into a ring and he starts like I don't know, man. He can just tell a story within the ring better than anybody. I mean, he's fucking CM Punk. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. I mean,
Damn right.
that sequence he had, and he hit fucking Roman and Steph with a fucking he hit him with a damn. He hit Seth with a DDT and then Roman with an inverted DDT. Because he was going for the swinging neck breaker, and when he was
Yep.
turning around, Raw Seth ran towards him and he caught him, and then he hit him, like I said, with the DDT, and then Roman with the inverted DDT. It's like Christ on a
Seth
crutch,
Rollins
dude.
doing a damn headstand in the middle
Yeah,
of the ring. Very Shawn Michaels of him. And like I've said before, that's the modern day Shawn Michaels. So he doesn't have a weak spot in his game.
nope, not at all.
And I mean peak like mid-90s Shawn Michaels. Talking about the man, he apologizes for being back in the day, but you can't apologize for that ring work.
Yeah, same way with Kurt Angle.
Yeah. Kurt Angle as well. And speaking of, I was also gonna say about El Grande Americano versus Ray Phoenix. That looked like damn WCW Rey Mysterio versus Pete Kurt Angle.
Yep.
Like maybe a step below Kurt Angle, but I really feel like we don't talk about just how good Chad Gable is. Like gimmicks aside, like
Dude, Chad Gable's a fucking monster.
I feel like he's good enough on the mic to put in the main roster, like on that main event circuit. He's
Oh
good
yeah,
enough. He's a good enough ring worker to keep up with anybody.
any fuck like
Anybody.
his ring work is like you pretty much got to put somebody to keep up with him. Like he's on that Kurt
Yeah.
Angle level. Hey
Yeah.
man,
Kurt Angle is obviously better.
Spider Man.
We're not saying like obviously it's a very obvious and objective
Yeah,
comparison to say that they you know where I'm going with this. It's like it's a
yeah,
very objective comparison, but going back to Seth Rollins, like it's a little more subjective to say he reminds me of Shawn Michaels, but he just does.
yeah.
It's like but it's a very I'm very happy
Now,
with how this match went down, and Paul Heyman with a double turn. Hello, Motorhead. The show's one of the show's two mascots.
your breath smells like shit.
Yep,
Smells like a
that's
dead rodent.
that's street cats for you. He probably needs dental work. Gomez did,
But anyways,
but yeah, no, this match ended with a fascinating and just absolutely lovely. First off, the three-way moves they were doing. That's that sounds horrible, but like hear me hear me out. Like, oh, you should have seen that reach around DDT. No, fucking no. There was several points in the night where, yeah, Roman wound up putting, I think it was CM Punk in the guillotine, and CM Punk flipped it into a pin, and then
yep,
wound up putting him in the Anaconda Vice. And while he did that, then Seth broke that off and turned it into a sharpshooter, which Roman turned into
yeah,
yet another guillotine, which led to that Northern Lights.
yeah.
Direct,
That whole sequence was fucking
yeah.
nuts.
Directly after that, shortly thereafter that, you had, I
The
think there was one,
finisher.
yeah, the finish, the
He hit Punk hit Seth with a GTS. Roman's hit Punk with a spear, and Seth hit Roman with a curb stomp. And then they were all laying out, and then that's when Paul Heyman came out and turned on Punk. He gave a metal chair. No, he gave the metal chair to Punk.
they gave the metal chair
Rom-
to Punk, got into the
Roman's like,
ring,
"What the fuck?" He helped
then
him up, and then
low
he
blowed
gave
Punk.
Paul low blow Seth. I mean Punk, and then Roman was like, "He's like, here, my tribal chief," and we're like, "Okay, he's back." That's like in my head. I didn't think nothing else. I was like, "Oh, there's Roman," and then
Right before
he
it
lo-
happened, though, I was saying he's about to do it.
and he did it, and Roman
He low blowed
there it
Roman.
goes.
So that answers the question of the the favor that Seth had Paul pay, and that's an interesting pairing because both of them got good mic work. Both of them got good
Yeah,
presence.
yeah. It's gonna be wild to see how they. Now, here's the thing. Hot take. They might. Seth might end up turning on. Seth might end up helping Cena win tomorrow night since he's paired up with. He's
Heyman.
paired up with Paul Heyman now. He could. He
And
could
Seth or Cody
potentially.
are Seth and Cody are still friends.
Well, give it. See, they
It's
were,
no,
because now he's
yeah.
a heel. So think about it. Seth, he helped Cody win the title, and now he's gonna help. He's gonna help Cody or make sure Cody loses the title.
Yeah.
So like, because my friend Ruby, shout out, she sent me a message just a little bit ago with that, and it just, she brought that up, and I'm like, you know what, could be what happened. This dude, look, tomorrow night's gonna be fucking wild. Like
Oh
for
yeah.
one, we're gonna see Randy Orton versus a mystery opponent, and then we're gonna get Lyra's new opponent for the women's tag team match. Who that will be, nobody fucking knows. Because
Keep a eye out for
for
Lyra
Becky
turning
Lynch.
for for Lyra turning heel is what I was going to say. But yeah, Becky Lynch. Yeah, you just said that. That makes a lot of sense. Or somebody that has beef with could be
Liv.
Alexa Bliss too if she's
Oh,
if she's going to stay face. But
that would be cool.
Alexa Bliss is still well. I mean, Alexa Bliss, as far as we know, is still the most recent thing she even had, if I'm not mistaken, was in the
Elimination.
Elimination Chamber when she got eliminated by Liv.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a good way to tie everything together. But
Yeah, that's an interesting thought.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna go ahead and lock in Alexa Bliss for now, and I still think Lyra. Well, Lyra and Alexa is an interesting tag team. I don't think they would wind up being champions for long, but it's definitely an interesting tag team. But then again, that makes Lyra a double champ if that happens. So I'm gonna. I don't know if they're gonna try to make her a double champ this quick. She is damn good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if they're gonna go like push her that hard that fast. So I'm probably gonna get this one wrong. I'm gonna lock in Liv and
Liv.
Raquel retaining.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because I don't see Lyra being a double champ. But I'll go ahead and say that.
But tomorrow's gonna be very exciting.
Oh yes, absolutely. Overall, I'd probably give this night one solid 6.5 out of 10, maybe
Yeah.
7. It was a bit
Yeah.
disappointing, but the highs were very, very high. The lows were about as low as you could
Yeah.
possibly want. But
Yeah. I mean, really, it kind of just balanced itself out. You're about right, about a 6.5. I mean, because like the Fatu and LA Knight match and the
banger.
you know yeah, banger, and then the main event was a banger. The opener, what? Okay, well, from what you said, was a damn good match.
It was a
Except, like
damn
I
good
said,
match. You would
but the
probably like
ending,
it more than I did. That being said, I'm still going to stick by an 8 out of 10. I might
yeah,
have to watch it again, but
it carried it from
they should have put
just
that in the middle of the night. They should have had
yeah,
Naomi and Jade open up the match, just get everybody like, all right, cool, we're going to watch wrestling, and
yeah.
just let them get that out of the way. And from there, probably do the tag team match right where it was. Put just have the rest of the night go as is up until I would probably swap out
Tiffany and Charlotte,
Tiffany and Charlotte with Knight and Fatu personally.
yeah,
And I'd probably put
Jay and
Gunther,
Gunther third to last.
yeah, third to last or second to last. I would probably say second to last because the LA Knight and the Fatu match, like, it's a U.S. title match, so it just makes more sense to have the world champion match after that. But as far as excitement, yeah, that's how I would rank it. But yeah, WLC was marketably better as a match than this night was as a whole.
Yeah.
And yeah, 6.5 out of 10. And I feel like night 2 is going to be better. The better matches on paper are going to be that night. I'm still really excited for Io, Bianca, and Rhea personally.
Yeah. I think McIntyre and Priest is gonna be a certified hood classic.
Yeah, I think
Like that.
real trap shit. Yeah, that's going to be.
Damn, son, where'd you find that?
Shout out Christopher Mintz Plaza, but it's gonna be at least on paper it's gonna be a better match or a better night as a whole. I'm like you said, I'm really excited to see who Randy Orton's gonna go against. We were talking about earlier, it'd be cool to see like him go against somebody that he's never beat, like Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
But
Don't hinder the genders.
don't hinder the gender. No,
I mean, I
but
don't know who you could bring out for Randy. I mean,
honestly, I couldn't tell you personally. I'm sitting here thinking of
fuck
people
it.
that would, as
Bring
far
out
as story.
Batista.
I'm still not against the idea that it's probably gonna be Kevin. It could very well be Kevin because that
Yeah.
SmackDown was in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stone
so
Cold.
and KO was there.
Yeah. Stone Cold.
Could be Stone Cold. Stone Cold could get involved in the main event.
Yeah.
Cody and John, but we'll see.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
Can't sit here with confidence and tell you that that's going to be match of the night, but you never fucking know. It's John Cena.
Yeah. It just depends on how well his opponent is, and Cody's pretty fucking good. So
Cody's really
yeah.
good. And I just hope Cena wins. I really do. Like,
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. Just have Cena. I've seen him close it up. Win his title and be 18-time world champion. Fucking let
that's
him
right.
ride it out a little bit. Drop the title to you know drop the title to either Randy or CM Punk and let him go on about. Let him go after the Intercontinental later on this year. Let it fade on out.
Yep. Let it
But,
fade, brother.
yeah. But with that being said, that's going to be our night one WrestleMania review. Like we
Yep.
said, 6.5 out of 10 is going to be the final tally for us. And
That's about where I'm at. If you want a more specific one between both of us, you could probably like add up whatever scores we gave and then just average them out and go from there and then average everything. But that's for nerds. So we're just gonna say as a whole, 6.5 out of 10.
yeah,
That's hoping for more night 2. But this has
yeah.
been Our Yard Podcast. I am Swaggy T.
I'm Hogmaster.
That's right. And
I'll
it
catch
is
you on the
late.
flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.
Love you guys. I'm going home.